What is going on, YouTube? It is Primitive here, and today I'm bringing you another BT11 match featuring on the right the potential new top dog in BlackWarGreymon X Antibody, and then on the left I'm going to be playing GrandisKuwagamon, which is the deck that is hyped as pretty much the main counter for BlackWarGreymon X Antibody, because although you have a lot of protection and redirection, all these very nice things with BlackWarGreymon X Antibody, the thing that you don't have is battle protection. And so being able to suspend your opponent's stack, being able to swing through it while also being able to clear security is very powerful, and a reason why this deck is so strong versus the BlackWarGreymon X Antibody. So wanted to bring this matchup to you so you can get a little bit look of what it may look like if you are planning to play either of these decks in this matchup. But starting off, my opponent is going a little bit slower, have that red memory boost and those Agumons in the back, which does give a little bit of cycle and set up that Yuya, which is mostly irrelevant because the only options that I have that are going to be able to affect this are Grandel Soul, which is already a slightly ineffective option card because of the Greymon X Antibody inheritable, so not really too worried about the Yuya, but it will give them a memory tamer. But I am going to swing in with my two Digimon right here and put them at 3 security. The reason I want to do this is because with Grandis you are swinging for 3 security checks a lot of the time, and then unsuspending and then swinging in. So if I put them down to 3, I in theory can swing 3 checks, clear them out, unsuspend with Grandis, and then swing in for a game. And although I would want to keep the Terriermon on the board because there's those red memory boosts that can gain them memory, the thing is all the ultimates in this build are going to be able to delete the Terriermon. You have the BT8 Metal Greymon, which can delete a 3k or less, the Metal Greymon Sagittarius mode, which will be able to delete a 5k or less, and then the new BT11 Metal Greymon X Antibody, which we are going to see come out, which will delete a 6k or less if you have Metal Greymon or X Antibody. So going to be able to pop the Terriermon, and now going to be able to use the memory boost, going to pop them both, going to 4, and now playing another red memory boost. So they are searching for something here, going to be able to get a bit more search as we go for the Agumon X Antibody on top of the Agumon, but not sure exactly what they were searching for. But it looks like they are thinking about going for either the Gaomon or the BlackWarGreymon X Antibody. So gonna swing X Antibody option, inheritable effect will go into the BlackWarGreymon X Antibody, swing a check, unsuspend, BlackWarGreymon effect will delete my rookie, and the Metal Greymon X Antibody effect will trash my top security. So here I think about a second, what is the play to go for? I could Digiburst all 4 sources, not have piercing, swing the 3 checks, unsuspend with Grandis, and go for game. But if I hit Hades Force, I am in a pretty rough spot, so I decide to Digiburst only 2, which gives me security attack +1. But now I can go into the Grandis. I will be gaining the memory because of the promo Okuamon, so I can now swing through, gain a memory from the Kokuamon, swing the 2 checks, unsuspend, suspend the Agumon, pierce through that, swing the last check, and I do hit that Hades Force. So if I did go for that play, I would have lost my stack and my opponent would still have that BlackWarGreymon X on the board because I didn't have piercing, so I would have had to just swing security. So by going for that play, I was able to clear off the board, clear out my opponent's security, while also being able to develop a Digimon in the back and one on the field for them to have to deal with. And I don't think they are going to be able to deal with it. There's not much you can do unless you set up a Blocker Greymon and then also delete the Kokuamon on the board, which they do have the Blocker Greymon and they do have the BT8 Metal Greymon, so they are going to be able to pop. But I am going to promote swing, they will block, and I have the Metal Kabu Terriermon, and I'm just going to be able to use that hybrid to go in for game. So now moving on into game 2, my opponent will be having me go first, which is fine because with this deck a lot of the times you want to be going first anyway because you do have so many 1 to Digivolve champions. It makes it so you can go rookie, champion, put your opponent at 1, get that draw, and it makes so your opponent can't do too much here. But I am going to build up all the way to the Okuamon already in the back, which is nice. It puts on a lot of threatening pressure of being able to go into the Grand and then the Grandis to be able to swing in, clear those checks, but also threatens just stacks in general because if you do promote out because of that piercing and the suspending effects of Grandis or the Akuamon X Antibody, I will be able to have a little bit of board control with that aggression with the piercing. So it is why this matchup is so weird for the BlackWarGreymon, but we are just going to start off with some search. Nothing too crazy. Neither player has all the pieces that we need, as I don't really have all the megas for me either. I need to go and search it out, but I can play this Terriermon, which will shut down the red memory boost, which at least slows down a little bit of memory. But I also have this Mimi set up, which is nice. I want to have a memory tamer out for either just not getting choked, so that way I can guarantee be able to pay the 3 memory that it costs to go into the GrandisKuwagamon and the GrandisKuwagamon if I don't don't have the Weedmon, but also being able to tap the Mimi to get a Digimon in the back is nice. So a little bit of a cut right there as my opponent decides if they want to be swinging in, and they decide to swing in and play that Agumon. I think that makes a lot of sense. The more Digimon on the board, the more memory I can gain from this promo Kuwamon when I Digivolve into an Insectoid, and also you just want to be able to get those checks. This matchup is already very weird, so giving your opponent piercing targets and not getting the checks that you need is not going to be great, but I am going to swing in 3 checks. I am at 18k thanks to that Digi-Egg Digiburst, so I will be able to swing over that Omnimon X Antibody, but that Hades Force once again is going to get me and delete my stack, so unfortunately not able to go for game, but am able to clear out most of my opponent's security, putting them at just 1 now with a Digimon in the back, 2 on the board, and I have that Mimi, which does threaten the hybrid, which we saw before, or just more aggression by being able to go in for that ultimate and tap Mimi. But those ultimates that we talked about earlier are coming out, and they are quite strong at removing on the board, as the BT8 Metal Greymon going to be able to pop 1, Alterous Mode going to be able to pop the other, would be able to pop a 3rd if I had one by going into this Metal Greymon X Antibody, but going to be able to gain that memory, get some draws off the Cool Boy. Thinking about putting the X Antibody option, which I don't see a reason really not to. Obviously, you have the Alterous Mode protection, so you would be able to still have some sort of protection, but you can get the double protection and just make this stack very potent. So they do go and pop my Mimi, which is unfortunate because they don't have blocker, so I thought I was still going to have game because I have that Metal Kabuterimon in hand, the hybrid, so I thought I was going to be able to go be able to play the hybrid, swing in, and then swing with my Kabuterimon and be able to go for game, but now that is going to be pretty much eliminated, and there's going to be close to no way for me to win this game after this play, because as they go for those Cool Boys and those Yuyas keep turn, they are going to make it so now they can redirect my highest DP attack. So although they don't have blocker and I would still be able to go for a hybrid and swing that Kabuterimon, one of them will get redirected, so I won't be able to go in for game. And because of this trashing effect of the Metal Greymon X Antibody, when the BlackWarGreymon reboots, it's going to put me down to 1 security, and again the only option I have is GrandisSoul, so they can just swing the Greymon X Antibody. That will make it so that way even if I hit GrandisSoul, the BlackWarGreymon will be safe and they will go in. So I just scoop it up right there, no reason to go for it, there's nothing I can do. So going on into game 3, again, I will be going first to try and get them to choke it at 1, build up into my stack. So gonna hit that Weedmon, and now gonna go for the green memory boost. Unfortunately don't have the ultimate just yet, but I do hit the Okuwamon X Antibody, which is very nice because that at least gives me some sort of ultimate if I don't hit the promo Okuwamon. And now gonna play out the Terriermon because I am gonna spend a little bit of time searching for the promo Okuwamon. I have until my opponent starts to build up their stack until I really need to go out and start to do some damage. So if they aren't going to go up into their big mega, then I have time to be able to search out for my Okuwamon. And even if I don't have it, I do have the Okuwamon X Antibody, and I have the X Antibody option in my hand, which will allow me to do a little bit of work with the GrandisKuwagamon, even if I were to miss the Okuwamon or the GrandKuwagamon, both of which I don't currently have in my hand. So I'm just going to keep following my opponent's pace, which they are going to promote out, go up into that Greymon X Antibody, and I do decide to go out here. I can pop the green memory boost to go to 4, so I can get up into that Okuwamon X Antibody. I don't suspend anything because I'm not Digivolving on top of an Insectoid, but I will be able to go for this X Antibody option, swing targeting security to go into the Grandis, which will Digivolve for 3. I can suspend it, and then because of its Wind Digivolving effect, I will be able to redirect the attack, which will allow me to gain that memory from the Okuwamon Inheritable, putting my opponent at 1, and then I will reboot. So I really just wanted to set this up. My opponent won't be able to get up into an ultimate stack now, and if they try to build up something else, I will be able to control it with Grandis. And yes, I don't have a bunch of security checks to swing in, but I do have a 16k beater that I can go ahead and swing in with, while also building another stack in the back. So now here comes a Grandis double check with now Terriermon and Okuwamon X Antibody on the board. So 3 Digimon on the board, 1 in the back, and one of the Digimon does 2 checks, and I was able to eliminate their stack, so now they are going to need a lot of pieces to come back into this, and the first one was going to be that Greymon X Antibody, so that way they could gain the memory to go to 3 and be able to go up into an ultimate to pop that Terriermon to maybe gain some memory with the red memory boost, but not going to happen. I'm just going to promote out. I have the 4 swings, and so I'm just going to swing in. The only thing that's going to remove is the Hades Force, so as long as I don't first check Hades Force, I will be okay, but that is going to be today's match. If you enjoyed, be sure to like and subscribe, and we'll be bringing you a bunch more BT11 content, but I hope you have a fantastic day, and I will catch you next time. Peace out.